Hi again, guys. Listen, I have a couple of 12 by 12 layouts I'd like to share with you and some cards that I made. But let me get started. I'd like to thank my dear YouTube friend Terry for sending me my first ever handmade card from my internet YouTube scrappy friends. Here's the card I got from Terry. How cute is this? I wish you could see the ribbon in person. Anyway, Terry, thank you. I'm so glad that we've met. I think we're definitely kindred spirits and soul sisters. Thank you for your card, honey. And yours will soon be in the mail as soon as I make a video record of the cards I've made, because I have a little problem with giving cards away. Now, not to my crafty friends or not to certain people, but it just kills me to know I'm going to make some of these cards and the recipient isn't going to cherish them. Yes, I want you to cherish my cards, but I've got a couple of people outside of my crafty friends that I know keep my cards, but listen, I want Joe the mailman to open his card and be like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful card in the whole wide world, and I'm going to laminate it and hang it from the rear view window of my USPS postal truck. That's what I want you to do. So if you're Rusty, our mailman, which I don't mean if you're Rusty, our mailman is named Rusty, and I do love him. And every year we make sure he's taken care of. I mean, my God, you got to. The poor man has deliveries from my halls every week. He has to bring up here. And listen to this, like, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I got on this kick of ordering magazines, of like old scrapbook magazines. I didn't have you guys then, and I had to have my scrapbook fixed. So I went on eBay, and I swear I bought every issue of Simple Scrapbooks, Creating Keepsakes, Memory Makers, what was the other one? Paper Cuts? Anyway, some of these magazines, have been out of print for years. And I bought old copies to go through and look at. I love looking at scrapbook magazines. And this poor mailman would have to lug like 30, they sell them on eBay as a lot, L-O-T-T, and it's like separate words, a plus lot, but it was actually a lot of books. And I would buy them in like lots of 10, 20, 30 old issues, and that poor guy would have to carry him up to our door. Sometimes my husband would meet him out front if he was out messing around in the yard, but ever since then I have to give good old Rusty something special. Anyway, so much for that. Let's go on. I want to share a layout with you. Well, 2 layouts. And just one more time, Terry, thank you so much for your card and your pork roast. I loved them both, and I love you. Now, here's my layout, and I think I found out why I can't remember half the products I use on my layouts. It's because I do my layouts, but I don't always do the video right away, so I probably need to do a layout and upload it so that I don't forget everything I've used. This layout, you guys remember if you've watched my other videos, I'm trying to go back in time and scrapbook some of my old pictures. I've always been a person that loved pictures. So, guys, I have probably tens of thousands of pictures that I would like to scrapbook. And that's probably another little issue I need help with, because there's very few pictures I don't feel earns a place in the scrapbook album. You know, I like a posed picture just as much as anyone, but I like the impromptu photographs too, and I guess that's why I like the double page layouts. I like to cram so many pictures as I can on there, although it's not always as attractive as the one page, one picture layout, and I'm getting better at that. But I'm going to have to buy 6,000 scrapbook albums. Anyway, this picture is of my son, my baby, and this was taken in 1988. It was like a day or so after Christmas, and I was inspired. I kind of lifted this photo, and I took this from the December issue of Scrapbook Trends. I love that magazine. And the layout that I scrap lifted from is on page 97. It's called Just Call Me Betty Crocker by Jill Cornell. And Jill actually has a blog I'm going to have to visit. It is jillcornell.blogspot.com. I'm going to have to go see it. But she actually made this layout. Now her layout, you'll see there's some similar items, but it just got my juices flowing and gave me an idea of what to do with my layout. And I happen to have some of the products she used. My layout reads, Just Call Me Benny Crocker. Okay, so I know. I thought it was quite witty. No one else has. But anyway, let's just start right here. You'll see I have a little piece of craft cardstock there, in and out, near, far. And that's what I used to place my title and journaling on. I use the Webster Storytellers. Let me show you. Oh, I don't have it. Of course, it's not sitting right here. I thought it was. The Webster's Storytellers Alpha Stickers is the Just Call Me part. The Benny Crocker is Thickers, and it's, gosh, what is the name of it? For some reason, I know it has the word tomato in it. So if you really want those thickers right there, type in American Crafts Thickers plus tomato, and I bet you'll find it. You see the little stamp here on the side? How cute is that? It is a little girl gingerbread man. Gingerbread lady. And that stamp came from peachykeen.com. And I stamped it on there with Versamark, and then I embossed it with Zing White Opaque Embossing Powder. My little buttons there are just some cheapies from, I think it's called Perfect Findings, is the name of the brand. And look, once again, I kind of stacked them, so they're very three-dimensional. I used Glossy Accents glue to do that. You see the little, what's that called? Raffia ribbon in my buttons. Well, let me show you that. I do have that sitting nearby. It's this stuff. And isn't that just the perfect color of craft paper? And it's called Raffia Ribbon, and it's has absolutely no name on the collection or who it's made by. But I picked it up at Joann's several years, well, probably about 3 years ago. I also got red, which is this great vintage looking red. And I got this awesome green. I bought it a couple of years ago to put on presents in my shopping bags, but I'm such a multi-person or purposing type of person that now I'm using it on my scrapbook pages, and I love it. Anyway, I tied it through my buttons and spread it out, and I think it turned out pretty cute. Across the top, I just used the excess from another one of these little cardstock, pieces of cardstock. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But there was another one I had cut into, so I just went on and cut it up and put the Applegate place, which is the street we lived on when this picture was taken, and it has a lot of good memories. You'll see I used a little tiny text stickers to put Eric and his Play-Doh. I used a couple of little Christmas colored breads there. I couldn't tell you where they're from or who made them. This little piece of green paper going across there, as is all of the other paper from the layout, is from the Mrs. Claus's Kitchen Paper Stack by Die Cuts with a View. And I really love that stack. There's a part in the paper pad that has these little recipe type of cards that you can cut out and use. And I thought that was just going to be perfect for my title to be placed on. As you can see, I just cut some banner, like pennants out of the paper and some little banners. I attached them with my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. I used my Fiskars scallop punch on the bottom. I hand cut the banner. I did that all by myself, and that was an 8x10 picture, and I cut it down to probably about 7 by probably 8x6. Anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas. As most of you who watch my videos know, I am doing a album for my ex-daughter-in-law, and I can't find the layout. Here it is. Once again, you know me. They call me Vicky Multitask Me Love Bono. They really do call me that. Anyway, I'm always multitasking, so I figure when I have paper out and I'm doing a layout for us, I'd love to get this album done for my grandson's mother by Christmas. It's probably not going to happen, but what I'm doing is when I do a layout for our albums or our pictures, I'm doing a layout for her. I'm going to tell you, it's difficult for me to do a layout without the pictures. It's like something's missing, which would be the pictures. But anyway, so here's the layout I did for my grandson's mother. My grandson's mom. Yeah, that's who I did it for. Now, you'll notice I have little Post-it notes on there. And what I'm going to do is put her together a little tablet and say, okay, on page 1, this is where you want to put your journaling. And you can put a 4x6 photo on this mat and a 2x3 photo on that mat. And because she's not into scrapbooking, but she does love pictures of her kids. She's a good mommy. I will not give her the scrapbook album with these tacky Post-it notes hanging on there, but I have to put that on there to remind myself what I designed that mat for, because I'll forget. I used the little gingerbread lady from Peachy Keen again. I used that font the big cookie word is from Doodlebug Designs Incorporated. It's their font. It's Alpha Stickies. Underneath is the, the tiny text letters, and let's see, that little label there is from Cosmo Cricket Dear Santa sticky labels, and the paper is from Mrs. Santa Claus's Kitchen, which, like I said, I'm loving, guys. I found mine on Joann.com, so for $9.99, and that weekend I got free shipping. But I have got to do a video and tell you about my bad experience with Joann.com. I mean, it's not critical. They didn't come in and beat up my family or anything like that, but I was so mad at them. I wasn't going to ever order from them. Now, that was about 2 weeks ago around Black Friday. I'm starting to soften a little, and I've already been back typing in Joann.com onto my computer, so I might forgive them. Anyway, I'll tell you the story soon. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a moment with some cards. Holiday cards. Who hasn't sent out their cards already? Me. Thanks for watching, you guys. Talk to you soon.